We now invite you to watch the first part of Supreme Master Ching Hai's message entitled, The Buddha or Messiah We Have Been Waiting For Is Here Now, Part 1 of 8, on Between Master and Disciples, given in English on July 7, 2024.
Hello, our innocent and pure souls, beloved of all heavens, and the great, the highest, the Almighty God. I'm just trying to talk to you so that you do not worry too much. I'm still recovering. For me, it's not just about the physical, it's about the inside. The inside struggle between war and peace is still going on. And I try to regain my inside strength, okay? Even though from the outside you can't tell much. I think I will be okay, but you know, the world is always very changeable. You can never tell from 1 minute to the next what many of the humans will do to upset the balance of good within themselves and within the societies that surround them as well. Try to be balanced all the time, then you'll be okay. Like, okay, if you know that you have some negative traits inside, but also a lot of goodness as well, then at least try to balance it. Don't encourage, don't support yourself, don't ruin yourself or spoil yourself by just listening to your own negative traits, which are imparted to you the day you were born already, or even before that. Everyone who was born or will be born into this world has to pay some price without their intention to choose it. It's a price to pay to be in this turbulent and complicated world. Because if you are all pure, then your energy will not mix, will not belong to this world. You will float upward, back to the heavenly abode. So even if the masters, Buddhas, don't have to bear the burden of world karma, they can't stay here on earth. It's difficult to explain. I just make a simple example. It may be befitting. Like you go to find a job, yes, and maybe you get a good job, good payment, and a job that you like. But then you still need to spend 8 hours, 10 hours or more in serving that job, despite the fact that your body sometimes is not up to it. And your mind is sometimes really troubling you so much, but you're taxing it to try to fulfill the job that is expected of you. That is a problem. It's not like something that you want to or not want to. You just have to if you want that job. You know, being born in the physical body, most of us will have to be busy with some physical work. Otherwise, you can't take care of yourself. Even if you have a big inheritance from your parents or some relatives, you still need to work to make sure that it stays fixed and enough for you to continue to live. And being jobless is also a difficult job, because if you don't have interesting things to do in your life, then your mind might go haywire sometimes or be influenced by some bad negative tendency from within or without. Now, everything is work in this world, yes? Even if you are a monk, you also need to work in the temple. And also take care that you have enough knowledge, enough worthiness to answer the demands, the expectations of your followers. You will be criticized, you will be worshipped, you will be demanded to work for their mundane questions, answering stuff, or you will be put onto a high pedestal, and they will expect that you are Buddha already, you're a saint already, and there's no end to their demands. For every little mundane thing, they will come to you, and if you don't answer or supply the way they want it, you will be under suspicion, of any kind. And by the way, talking about monks, I just remember something. Sometimes I saw some monks somewhere, by the way, being criticized by other monks or other people. And sometimes if just something they say is not supposed to be correct or according to Buddhist sutra, then they will be criticized or harassed or banned or kicked out. All kinds of things that could happen to a monk even, yes? I would, by the way, tell you, please don't do anything bad to the monks. There are some bad monks, for sure. But if you don't know much about him or her, please don't say anything that damages his or her reputation and their spiritual endeavor as well. Don't criticize any monks. Don't let them be out of job. Let them do what they can in their capacity, especially the monks who are vegan, okay? Or at least vegetarian. Same with other monks, priests, and nuns of other orders from other religions. If you don't understand the working of karma and the working of the bad situation in this period of time that our planet could be destroyed at any moment, please, at least don't make it worse, okay? For the monks, the Mahayana monks, I don't know much about Hinayana, except that most of them eat animal people meat, any kind of meat, anytime. Maybe they eat once a day or once a day, but they eat all kinds of animal people meat. The Buddha has said that whoever eats meat is not his disciple, and he is not their teacher. It's in Lankavatara Sutra, Tripitaka number 671.
At that time, Arya, or sage Mahamati, or great wisdom Bodhisattva Mahasattva, said to the Buddha, Bhagavan, or world-honored one, I see that in all worlds the wandering in births and deaths, the enlaced animosities, and the falling into evil paths are all caused by meat-eating and cyclical killing. Those behaviors increase greed and anger, and make living beings unable to escape from suffering. That is truly very painful. Mahamati, having heard my words, if any of my disciples does not honestly consider that, and still eats meat, we should know that he is of the Candela, or killer's lineage. He is not my disciple, and I am not his teacher. Therefore, Mahamati, if anyone wishes to be my relative, he should not eat any meat.
That I know, okay? Now the Mahayana monks, meaning the great Vairagya monks, they eat vegan, or at least vegetarian, meaning maybe sometimes they drink milk. I'm not so sure what they eat. But they tolerate, vegetarian. Not knowing too much about how the egg industry is so brutal to little chicks and chicken people, and not knowing too much about the inhumane treatment of the cow people in the animal people factory, okay? So please do not be so harsh. At least they do their best, what they know, what they think is the best. These monks, they wear monks' robes. Maybe they don't do much. Maybe they don't know much about Buddhism. They just know or understand as much as they can. Because they don't always meet a good master to teach them the real meaning behind all the teachings of the Buddhas. So please keep quiet, okay? If you don't have trust in them or you don't respect them, at least refrain from insulting them or making their life hard, because they wear the monk's robe. That represents compassion and the teaching of the Buddhas. It just represents it. at least like that. So they will maybe reawaken the seed in some followers, and rekindle the compassion of the Buddha, okay? When you see the monks, the Mahayana monks, at least, they will remember the Buddha taught compassion and vegan. I told you already in the Suragama Sutta, the Buddha said, we should not even wear silk, should not even use down anything, and should not drink milk, even anything to do with animal people. So now, most people don't know all this, they don't have time and they don't have a good teacher to teach them. So please do be tolerant. I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I used to be intolerant also. When I was younger, when I first became a nun, I saw a man stripping down to his, shorts only, and wigging and wagging in front of the Buddha statues in the temple. He was standing in front of the Buddha's temple statues on the balcony. The Buddha's statues were behind him. And I scolded him a lot and told him to get off there immediately for disrespecting the Buddha. You have many places to exercise. You can't just stand in front of the Buddha and show your butt like that. This is not Buddhist. And so then he ran away. I used my stick at that time and threatened him that I would beat him up if he didn't go away. And he ran away and was crying to the abbot, "Oh, Shifu, she's going to beat me up. She wants to beat me up." I felt that wasn't correct of me. Of course, I was younger, okay? And I apologized for my behavior. Not to him, no. I didn't want him to feel that he was right to do that. There are many places to do exercise, And even if you want to exercise in the temple yard, you go in the yard. There's a big yard in front. And the street in front is empty. It's a small little village. Nobody was driving there. Even if they drive by, you don't have to stand on the street to do that. You can't stand in front of the Buddha statues, and wag your butt like that. It doesn't look good anyway, no matter what kind of excuse you say. So from then on, he never came back to that temple again.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. To learn more about her compassionate life and teachings, please visit suprememastertv.com/master.